Oh, hi. I didn't see you guys come in. Well, welcome back to 2022 Classy Daytona League. It's been a while. A lot has happened in the last year. Had some changes. We have a new league champion that I think we need to congratulate. Andy did a great job last year. Made us all look bad. But, a lot of other things have happened in that year as well. Brandon had a new addition. We'd like to welcome Nolan to the family. Rob and I turned 40. I lost more hair, he got fatter. I don't know if this is true or not, but I've heard through the grapevine from many sources that Bjorn is running some sort of pig farm. Kevin landed a full-time position in his babysitting job. My daughter looks more and more like the UPS man every day. And some of us got to meet Kevel at Kevin's job interview that we all went to. But, some things change, some things stay the same as well. Jags and Cowboys won't win a Super Bowl this year. Josh still won't come to drafts. We don't know whatever happened to Josh. McHugh still hasn't found the rubber vagina. That's still missing. Lisa, Brittany, Amy, Rachel, and Andy, they're still too good for us. And that gap widens by the day. Not their superiority, I'm talking about their downstairs. We as humans just need to try and be better and learn more all the time. The more knowledge we acquire, the better we are as human beings. So during this draft order team pairing that we're doing now, we're also going to go through some facts and statistics, some having to do with football, some not. So sit back, grab a drink, grab a smoke, and enjoy. So this year, once again, we're going to be celebrating the beautiful game of football. And to start that out, one question came to mind. When all those guys are out on the field, where do they pee? Well, I happened to find some interviews, one with a player by the name of Channing Crowder, played for the Dolphins, and I quote, "I would just be in the huddle and just pee." Ryan Khalil of the Panthers said, "Guys are peeing all over the sideline in every game, in the cups, on the ground, in towels, behind the bench, in their pants, everywhere." So if that tells you where this is going, then buckle your seatbelts. So, the first pairing. One of these is names, one of these is teams. I'm just going to go ahead and just pull these out, and we will see who gets what team. First person on the block is Rob, aka Steph Parental. And the team that will be going to Rob. Rob's got the 49ers. Could be worse. I'd be happy with that. And the second team. Wow, look at that. Little brother Kevin, aka Step Parental. Oh, excuse me, that's Kevel, not Kevin. Sorry, Kevin, that was a little premature. And Kevel will be represented by the Seahawks. So like I said, we're going to be learning a little bit during this as well. So, just a little stat for you guys. The worst QB last year, if you'd like to go ahead and take a guess, I'll give you a second. Get a drink here. Give you a hint. His grandfather's name was Dick Hammer. Real man. That's right, Sam Darnold, worst QB last year in all measurable stats. And, let's go from the worst to the best, a little statistic that you guys might be interested in. The person that is claimed to have the most sexual partners in their lifetime, Mr. Wilt Chamberlain, with 20,000. Over a 55-year span, that would be 364 a year or one per day. So let's go ahead and pull a couple more names and a couple more teams. We got Ryan Duggan. And Mr. Duggan will be represented by the Bills. I believe that was Kevin's pick. Put up the high score this week. I don't think you can complain too much about that one. And next we have here. We have Bjorn. And Bjorn will be represented by the Texans. It's a little soft. Let me go ahead and turn that up. Set the mood in here. So let's go back to some stats after those two picks. Who threw the most pick sixes in their career? This is all time. Well, if I told you it was a man by the name of Brett Favre, would you believe me? He had 31. Next up would be Matt Stafford with 26. Here's an interesting fact. Mitchell Trubisky has never thrown one. And that's why that guy right there would probably pair up with the largest natural breasts on record is Ann Hawkins Turner at 70 inches and 56 pounds each. Just figured you'd like to know. Let's do a couple more picks. Okay, next up, Mr. Girth. The guy sounds like a real piece of work. And he will be represented by the Cowboys. And let's do one more. Brandon, who is down sick right now with COVID. I hope he gets better. But we'll go ahead and pick him a team out of here. And Brandon will be represented by the Chiefs. Not too bad. Let's get back to some more statistics, because I know you guys enjoy those. So, this one, let's try and be mature during this one, okay, gentlemen? We are a classy bunch of guys. But at the 2016 Combine, Chris Jones' penis fell out during the 40-yard dash. You can look it up. There's a video. I've seen it. And speaking of penises, the longest penis on record. I know some of you guys might be thinking it's Jonah Falcon from New York, but it's not. His 13.5-inch penis has been dethroned by one Roberto Cabrera, 54, Saltillo, Mexico. Measures in at 18.9 inches. The doctor was quoted saying about 16 and a half of those inches is penis, and the rest is foreskin, which resides just above the knee. Yeah, and the next person to be represented on here will be Josh. And Josh will be represented by the Chargers. And then the next person on the list here will be Kevin, not to be confused with Kevel, Mr. Steph Reynolds. And Kevin will be represented by the Patriots. Let's go back to a little fact for you guys. Which one did we just do? Let's do this one right here. Okay. Well, here's a little piece of history. November 12th, 1990, Redskins versus Eagles. Eagles head coach Buddy Ryan told reporters they would inflict a beating so bad they'll have to be carried off in body bags. During the game, Eagles players shouted at injured Redskins players, "Do you need any more bags?" Speaking of casualties, Lisa Sparks from Warsaw, Poland in 2004 slept with the most guys in a single sexual session. 919 men in 12 hours. I guess you could say she has the Saks record. And this should be the last two right here. Travis will be, excuse me, there's four more, my mistake. The Raiders, my pick, for most points scored this week. And let's go with one more here. Jeff. Before we tell you Jeff's team's going to be, I just want to let you know that your brother-in-law Rob is a very upstanding man, very good man. Wouldn't do anything wrong. Bible study on Sunday, the whole 9 yards. Jeff will be represented by the Packers. Okay, farthest throw on record. I'll give you guys a chance to maybe take a guess at this. Stab. Anybody? Well, that would be 76 yards from Randall Cunningham. This was during an NFL Pro Day, I believe. And speaking of gunslingers, furthest ejaculation on record during the Master Johnson studies back in the, I believe, 60s and 70s was 8 feet. That's 2.4 meters. Approximate speed of 45 kilometers per hour. Which is, and I quote, why people don't like it in the back of their throats. It could be quite a shock, says therapist Tanya. Let's go ahead and knock these last two out. Got Mr. McHugh. And Mr. McHugh will be represented by the Saints. I believe that was Brandon's pick for high score this week. Or maybe he was just picking Trevor Siemian. I don't know. And by default, the last person is Andy, our reigning league champion. Will be represented by Carolina Panthers. So in closing, I'll leave you guys with a little story here. Not really much of a story, but actually just some more excerpts about some behavior and statistics that have taken place in the locker room. This is from the book Boys Will Be Boys, The Glory Days and Party Nights of the Dallas Cowboys Dynasty. If you guys want an interesting read, look up the name Charles Haley. And this is quoted from the book. Charles Haley would stroll up to unsuspecting 49ers teammates, whip out his phallus, and repeatedly stroke it in the face. Players initially laughed it off, but Haley refused to stop. He'd wrap his hands around his penis, turn towards Joe Montana or John Taylor, and bellow, "You know you want to suck this." Charles used to beat off in the meetings while talking graphically about other players' wives. It got to the point of ejaculation. Well done, Mr. Haley. Well done. So that concludes the draft order for this year. I wish everybody good luck, and let's have a good season, guys.